Hello, today is April 18th and we are heading up to the State House for a public hearing on Senate Bill 272, which is our Parent Bill of Rights. It's very similar, in some parts identical, to House Bill 10, which was the House version of the bill sponsored by the Speaker of the House that was tabled last month. So this Senate bill is the last vehicle we have if we're going to pass a Parent Bill of Rights this term. Heading up to the State House, looking forward to it, and talking about parents. I actually have one of my parents, my mom, with me.
Hello.
Hi. And I'm very grateful for the support of both my parents and my family in my journey in campaigning, but also in the transition to becoming a New Hampshire State Representative. So I will keep you updated.
We have just arrived at our beautiful State House, and I will show some shots of the crowd. People are beginning to gather in front of the state capitol. Here is another angle of the counter-protest in opposition to this bill.
We are here today to raise our voices against SB 272 and to tell our representatives to protect LGBTQ and especially trans young people today. We don't want any video or pictures.
Meanwhile, in support of the bill, the discussions are lively and videography is allowed and encouraged.
We cannot let Senate Bill 72 die. It must be passed and it must be put into law so that our children are brought up by their parents, not by the state, and not by the school district.
Today, we have the opportunity to change the course here in New Hampshire. We must act now for the sake of every autistic and confused 12-year-old like I once was. Let's not wait until there are hundreds like me standing before you. This is our final chance.
But social transition eventually wasn't enough. I soon felt that I needed testosterone, and when that wasn't enough, I had a double mastectomy. And when that still wasn't enough, I had a total hysterectomy, including the removal of my uterus, cervix, fallopian tubes, and both ovaries. There's no point of contentment during a gender transition. We get fleeting moments of euphoria, but ultimately one step leads straight into the next.
Recently, friends reported that their kindergartner was being told to draw themselves, quote, like when they just got out of the tubby or the shower, with a focus on drawing their genitalia. Kindergartners. The graphic images of young boys fellating each other, young girls tasting each other's vaginal liquids, boys engaging in circle jerks before being forced to drink cups of semen are unacceptable for young children.
I enjoyed the rally, but now it is time to hear from people all across New Hampshire in the public hearing, but not before getting a picture with Chloe Cole.
There's going to be a public hearing beginning at 10 o'clock, and we're anticipating so many people that it was rescheduled from 2 weeks ago into a larger room to accommodate the crowd. It's going to be in Representatives Hall, and it's in front of my committee, the Education Committee. It's my first term in the New Hampshire State House, and I was lucky enough and fortunate to get on education, so I get to be a part of this discussion and vote on this within committee.
I'm Rick Ladd. I chair House Education. Been on the Education Committee for the last 15 years, and I come from Haverhill, New Hampshire, not Massachusetts. And I'd like to welcome everybody to our hearing today.
And on behalf of New Hampshire parents, please pass Senate Bill 272.
I urge you to oppose this misguided bill.
I gave birth. There was no teacher there in the birthing room with me.
My love for my child and my responsibility to care for and nurture my child does not give me property rights over them.
So please, pass this bill. Let's protect our children, let's protect the parents, and let's keep our America great.
Stories about sexual intercourse, oral sex, anal sex, straight sex, gay sex, trans sex, bisex, all kinds of sex. Okay, these are in our school libraries now.
Parents have rights, sure. They also have responsibilities.
I want to say to the people who already speak in support of this bill, shame on you.
I have no idea why it's controversial, because I cannot think of one situation in which a kid comes out at school and everybody in town doesn't know about it in a few weeks.
If people
people want to protect children in New Hampshire, there are some very practical and real steps that we can take. This bill is not one of them.
My parents could not protect me in China because they had no rights. But this is America where children belong to their parents. I urge you to vote yes on this bill.
We believe parental rights are the fundamental human rights, and they must be protected.
Teachers support students often even when their parents don't. So I ask you to please not take that support away and to vote ITL on this bill. Thank you.
And because they fear what teachers are hiding from their kids, parents are fleeing public schools.
My daughter is not my dog. My daughter is my daughter. We are all human beings. We all breathe the same air.
We have enough homeless youth in this state. We do not need more. I urge you to oppose this bill.
This is a totally unfunded mandate, and that really, as I sasaid, should be enough reason for 20-0 ITL.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thanks for your testimony in addition to everyone else who's going to testify.
Yeah.
You mentioned a financial burden.
Yeah.
Could you just clarify for the committee where the financial costs would be accrued for informing parents, which could prevent costs from future lawsuits if parents are not informed? So where is this cost that you're talking about, an unfunded mandate, as you say?
Well, there's huge costs. It's going to, you're going to get and you're certainly going to get some cis male students who are just overly enthusiastic about their cis male status in trouble just because they're harassing their colleagues who they think don't fit their standards of gender identity. But yeah, so there's a lot of costs, and there's the Education Committee refused to fill out the fiscal notes. I think that's just one of many reasons to be very suspicious of this bill. So thanks.
I appreciate that. The fiscal note does not list those concerns, so I do appreciate you saying that, but I do not see where a cost is associated with the points you mentioned. But thank you.
Yeah, that's not my main reason, the fiscal impact, but we do hear this committee often turns things down, even things with really minimal or no cost, because it's a unfunded Monday. We've had things that are unfunded mandates that are not even a rounding error in terms of the budget. So thanks.
Thank you very much, Representative.
With enormous respect for my colleague, to say that any piece of legislation, especially coming from the Education Committee, would put an unfunded mandate on school districts or an additional burden on schools and teachers is simply uncalled for when that is not the case. Because ultimately, there is not an unfunded mandate in SB 272. Hello, today is Tuesday, April 25th, and the last time you saw me, I was at the State House for a public hearing on Senate Bill 272, the Parent Bill of Rights. Today I'm heading back up to the State House to vote in committee on the bill. And last time I had my mom with me. Today I have the other half of my parents. I have my dad.
Hi.
Hi, Dad.
272, establishing a Parent's Bill of Rights in Education. We know how this is going to end up, so I've asked that a motion come forward, and Representative Cordiella, I'm looking for a motion from you.
On SB 272, I move ought to pass.
Is there a second? Representative Belcher? So we have a motion made by Representative Cordiello and second by Representative Belcher on SB 272, establishing a Parent's Bill of Rights in Education. The motion on the floor is OTP. That motion was made by Representative Cordiello and second by Representative Belcher. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Representative Ford?
Yes.
Representative McDonnell?
Yes.
Representative Blekis?
Yes.
Representative Belcher?
Yes.
Representative Dry?
Yes.
Representative McDonnell?
Yes.
Representative Noble?
Yes.
Representative Peternell?
Yes.
Representative Cortiello? Yes. Representative Myler?
No.
Representative Cornell?
No.
Representative Tanner?
No.
Representative Luno?
No.
Representative Ellison?
No.
Representative Murray?
No.
Representative Heath?
No.
Representative Balboni?
No.
Representative Cascadden?
No.
Representative Damon?
No.
Chairman Ladd?
Yes.
10 yeas, 10 nays.
Motion? Yes, Representative Myler?
I'd like to move to ITL 272. Thank you.
And second by Representative Tanner?
Yes, I'd like to second that. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion on the table, ITL 272, made by Representative Myler and second by Representative Tanner. Discussion from the maker of the motion? You're welcome. Second? Okay, we have a motion on the table. Madam Clerk, would you please call the rolls?
Representative Ford.
No.
Representative McDonald.
No.
Representative Lekis. No. Representative Belcher.
No.
Representative Dry.
No.
Representative McDonnell.
No.
Representative Noble.
No.
Representative Peternell.
No.
Representative Cortiello. No. Representative Myler.
Yes.
Representative Cornell.
Yes.
Representative Tanner.
Yes.
Representative Luno.
Yes.
Representative Ellison.
Yes.
Representative Murray.
Yes.
Representative Heath.
Yes.
Representative Balboni.
Yes.
Representative Cascadin.
Yes.
Representative Damon.
Yes.
Chairman Ladd.
No.
10 yeas, 10 nays.
Okay, so it'll go on the floor as with no recommendation, and the ought to pass motion will be brought up first. Well, everybody enjoy the sun while it's out. Have a good day.
So today should be the day that the House votes on this. It can go up, it could go down. I could really see this going either way. But today's proceedings are going to be a little bit more dicey because of what unfolded yesterday. Yesterday, the group, if you remember from our segment on April 18th that had the counter rally in front of the State House, that group, the founder, is now under some fire for a tweet that they posted yesterday but since deleted. And the tweet calls for one of my fellow representatives to return to the State House from a vacation. Their travel expenses would be paid by this group or organization, which is in violation of New Hampshire statutes to pay any elected official for their vote or to get there to incentivize their vote.
Committee on Education, to which was referred Senate Bill 272 FN, establishing a parental bill of rights in education. This comes to us without recommendation. Representative Ladd moves ought to pass. For what reason does the member rise?
I move indefinite postponement of Senate Bill 272.
Motion before us is the motion of indefinite postponement on Senate Bill 272. Chair recognizes Representative Simpson for a parliamentary inquiry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If I know that adolescent development involves identity exploration, and finally, if I know that having trust between students and teachers means that students have better mental health outcomes and lower suicide rates, would I now press the green button to indefinitely postpone SB 272? Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Osborne for parliamentary inquiry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If I know that the adoption of this motion will not only ensure that we do not act today, but will also ensure that we do not even discuss this topic in this body for the remainder of the biennium. And if I know that this will send a message to parents that they must continue until the next election when they can replace their representatives, that they must continue to accept that school is a mysterious and secretive black box where they deposit their children. Who knows what happens inside that box, and who knows what comes out the other side.
The House will be in order.
If I further know, Mr. Speaker, that we will be sending a message to parents that they have no choice but to avail themselves of the already wildly successful Education Freedom Account program, which thankfully we have expanded this year to service even more children than ever before. Would I now press the red button and oppose this motion?
The motion before us is indefinite postponement on Senate Bill 272. This is a roll call vote. If you're in favor, you'll press the green button. If you're opposed, you'll press the red button. 195 voting yea, 190 voting nay. Indefinite postponement is adopted.
Hello, today is Tuesday, May 23rd, and so it's been a few days since the end of that footage, and I'd just like to clarify the end result. SB 272 was indefinitely postponed, which is an uncommon practice but happens nonetheless. And for proponents of the bill, it is probably the worst possible outcome. But for those who oppose it, that argue it was the best. Indefinite postponement means that a bill cannot be brought forward for the remainder of the 2-year term, which ends in 2024, so following elections and re-elections. Maybe new representatives could bring this forward, but this session of the House of Representatives cannot speak of this bill in further discussions or bills relating to the subject matter. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. And to my constituents who are watching this video, I hope it clarified a lot about the New Hampshire state government process and more about the issue to defend parental rights here in New Hampshire. So, thank you, and see you next time.